Hello, welcome to Magical Girl Monday. I'm going to be drawing a magical girl every Monday. Quick, short, usually under 15-minute long videos where I am very unedited, no script, nothing, just a prompt, art, and me. If you want to know the theme, I will always put them on screen at the beginning, and when I change parts you will see which color also, but just in case they will also be in the description in case you want to do this yourself, maybe. So, what is the point of Magical Girl Monday? Well, obviously, I'm drawing magical girls, sometimes magical boys, because I like drawing boys in cute outfits. Why am I so cracky today? So yeah, very unedited, quick. I don't want to put a lot of thought into this because it's character design. As you know, hopefully by now, I love drawing new characters, love lots of colors, doing all sorts of different stuff, because it's a lot more entertaining than fleshing out an entire world. But if I create a whole bunch of characters, then it builds the world on its own, and I can add to it as much as I like as time goes on. And I think with this first character, it's a great starting point, and it really does help me see where I might go with this. Now, Veronika, which, yes, by the way, she does have a name, congrats to me. I thought of a name, and it does have meaning. I'm hoping it's the right meaning, because I did look into it, but I could be wrong, because I am not Russian. So I don't know if I'm completely right with these definitions for these names. But our magical girl for today is named Veronika Rasputin. Veronika, from our research, means victory bringer and true image, which is really nice. No, magical girl, they want to win. They disguise themselves so you don't see who they really are. But for some magical girls, them when they transform, that is them showing themselves, someone they can't be in their regular life. And I chose Rasputin because I thought of the Russian man who used to talk a lot back in the time he was alive. Can't remember when, but he was a religious leader. There's a whole funny song about him, and the name apparently means the botched one, or at least that's what it came to mean, I believe, because of him. And I felt that went along well with our character's powers, which is words, which takes us right into her weapon, which is a megaphone. I immediately thought of those megaphones with the weird funny mouse, the ones to make for kids, because with the color, which you will see after the line art is done, but the color made me think of kid toys. So I was like, okay, her weapon could be a kid's megaphone. And while the megaphone looks very silly to me, at the same time, it does work, which is exactly what we want to happen. I guess I should also add that I haven't fleshed out the character exactly. I know what the power is. I know that at least. I know the weapon. I know what animal she might coincide with, which I don't know if we've reached that point in the footage, but it is a monkey because monkeys are loud. Actually, the specific monkey that her tail was based on is called a howler monkey. So they're very loud. One of the loudest animals. Isn't that great? So it matches her, because words. You want to be loud with a megaphone. And see, it all connects. What connects? I'm doing a thing. But where does whether or not she's a good or bad magical girl come in? And I'm going to say it right here, right off the bat. The reason why it matters is because the bad guys always look better. That's That's just the rules. I don't make them. That's how things work. The good guys look cute, you know, they look okay, and the bad guys look really nice. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to make her look, well, basic or ugly. I mean, I guess she does technically look a little basic because that's the first, and this is like laying on the groundwork, but I made sure it's interesting, there are cute things to look at, it's a very satisfying design, looks well, flows well, has repeating motifs in it. I didn't want this to just be throwing stuff at the wall because then it wouldn't look good, and I had to make it look good. Otherwise, it's not really a design, it's just me doodling. I want to be able to convey a personality without having to go too deep into what that personality is. Which actually brings me also into the pose. I decided to use an active pose. So, she is using her megaphone. She's standing in a very pretty, graceful way. Maybe even a playful way, if you can see that. I want her to look as if she was having fun, like she's not just doing this because she has to do it. She's doing it because she enjoys it. So that could later on lead into maybe she uses it as an escape from her regular life, because maybe she's a mute in her regular life. She doesn't talk much, or she's just not super happy. Which, of course, that also ties into her name, Veronika, which is true image. I'm on a roll. I'm sorry if I feel like I'm really like playing this up. I am very proud of myself for this. And that is honestly all I really have to say about doing the character specifically. So I guess I should move more into techniques since we were just talking about poses and whatnot. And probably also I should bring up the color eventually. I will get there, I think. But in terms of technique, I use a sort of a quill brush that's already provided in Krita. Yeah, right. The program I use to draw is Krita. Right now it's 5.0. It's great, love it. The recording feature for it is not that great, so I record on OBS. Saying that in case anyone wants to know, in terms of editing, I use Film Express. But going into how I use the brush, I want it to be very clean, quick strokes, because I didn't want to have to go in and clean up a bunch of edges, and I also want to do some detailing because I don't do that very often. I want to add some seams, I want it to make sense, I want everything to look good together and not be too clustered. Her hair gave me a lot of trouble with that because her hair is in braids, and braids are already complicated, and I want to give her a cape because why shouldn't I do that? So that took me a while, and that area still looks slightly fuzzy at some points, but it looks good enough to where you can see it easily, at least I think. If not, please let me know. Which brings up another thing. If you have thoughts on the design, or you have an idea for what I could do next, you are more than welcome to say them in the comments. I'm very open to criticism. This may be technically for fun, but it is also my work. So I do need to make sure I'm doing good things and improving so I don't get stagnant and then my art starts to suck. Especially since there are places I know I need to improve on, like coloring. Good segue. So yes, coloring. Her main color is red, which I don't know how that happened because I used a random number generator to pick a color. How it ended up being red, which is like kind of basic color for a magical girl. I mean, it's usually pink, but red and pink are pretty close. Pink is a tint of red, so it was kind of nice getting a color that's usually seen as a leading color. because she is technically going to be the lead, because she's the first. I don't know why I'm trying to explain that as if you don't get that. First, you probably get it. Anyways, yes, red was the main color, but red is a difficult color to work with. It can feel overpowering at times, or it can completely throw off the whole vibe. And I want my character to not have their vibe ruined because the color is red. I was originally going to do a brighter red, but I realized it looked weird. So I tried a darker red, and that also looked a bit odd. I then managed to find a small in-between. I kept the darker red, but I only used it in certain areas. I tried to use a nice little baby pink also, but it didn't look right, so I ended up throwing out the color entirely, and I decided to use some blues. I used a bright blue as like a very small accent because it is bright and it does not look that great with the blue in large areas. And I had a darker blue, just more of like a navy, and that really helped keep things together. And for her hair, I went with blonde because, you know, nice little yellow, looks nice. And this is where I thought it was kind of cute that I chose a kid's megaphone because her color scheme is primary colors, which is what most kids' toys colors stay as because they want to keep it simple. So that made it all a lot better, and the colors look really nice together. They are, fortunately, thank goodness, they are not overly saturated. I made sure the character design was readable even in gray, so people who are colorblind can see it clearly as well, and they don't struggle because I didn't want to separate my colors properly. I then finished it up with some simple shading in spare areas. I didn't want to do overly shaded because it's just simple art, concept art and all that. And our lovely Veronika was then done. Now, you may notice that this video is like 15 minutes long. However, I've only been talking for like 12 minutes, and that's because you get to enjoy the rest of the coloring, and you will see the finished product at the end. If you don't want to watch the rest of the coloring, you can very easily skip to the end, look at it. But if you want to see how I color it and see me change it, because I do switch color palettes a lot so I can figure out what I'm doing, which is a great show of progress, or not progress, process. There's a key difference between those words. But yeah, that's basically it. I will see you in whatever video I make next. I am working, I promise. I'm actually doing a map part right now. Gonna finish it up soon, so that's nice. I'll post that when I'm done with that. I'm also looking to post some speed paints, like some big nice illustrations that are gonna go in the shop. And then I'm also gonna start working on putting more things in the shop, which, by the way, I have a Redbubble, and you can look at it if you want to buy some of my stuff. I don't post everything that I put in there. I did recently put in a nice little witch drawing I did, and my store is full of a bunch of frogs. This is the biggest section I have, so if you really like frogs, you can go there. I will be posting videos on drawing frogs at some point because I love them. They're cute, and I think creating designs based off frogs would be really fun. I don't mean like little small frogs like I already do, like character designs and such. So I've rambled on enough. There's still like a minute left in this video, so please enjoy. And I can't wait to see you next time.